I was taking partial profits. That's why it's so important. We had a pretty negative reaction, rejected, not that we weren't aware of this resistance. That's why you take partials. I don't know how many times I have to repeat it. So I said we could pull back to 98.20, and that's what we've done. This is going to be pretty important. I'm actually I took a short position right around this price with stops over the high. In fact, reverse stops over the high. I'm now thinking there's a probability that has increased after yesterday's rejection that perhaps we get one more decline for a third drive. So just a light short position, see what happens. Now, if that is the case, it's possible we could get a new high in euro that could take us up to maybe 19 and a half, even 120. And again, just like the dollar, if we start trading under 16 and a half, that's going to be very negative for the euro. Here you go. Here's a cable. Did diverge at new highs. And if we're going to make a new low in the Dixie, I think you could look for maybe 137 in this pair. So that pretty much has the dollar covered. So we'll see. This could be very important. So I was thinking about shorts in gold on this rebound last week. We're right about at the 78.6 level, be about 44, 4,500 almost. So I thought we would stop at the 61.8 level. And if I'm right about one more decline in the dollar for a third drive, uh, perhaps we get one more high in gold. There was divergence here, but perhaps we can rally one more time and rally to make a new high. We'll see if we have divergence here, but I'm not taking the short position now. The character is a little bit too much. Also, silver, same scenario. 78.49 was 61.8. So not doing anything about this either. It looks like these may want to go to 78.6 or new highs. Gold silver ratio on the verge of a new low, and looks like that's coming, which also reinforces the potential for the dollar to make one more low as well. They're somewhat correlated, and we did have a confirmed low in the gold silver ratio. So I'm just going to be sitting on my hands, doing nothing in the gold, trading the dollar, taking a look at yields. I still think the bonds look pretty heavy. Nothing there. 10-year still hasn't been able yet to penetrate 420. I just think it's not a matter of if, but when. And we'll see what kind of reaction we get from that. Do want to cover what's happening in energy because it's important. You should be positioned for this energy move, and we are getting a trend break finally. And there's your trend line that it was struggling against. This is actually an add-on signal, and from longs that we had at this candle, once we got back inside the throwover, and then the pullback buys at 56 and a half, we're very well positioned. I don't think we should close back under yesterday's low, so you could really tighten it up here and have stops, say, at 780. So worst case scenario, you make money on whatever you still held on to here and here. So that's the way it looks. Someone commented to me yesterday that they thought Nat Gas was cheap. I agree. It's cheap. But what happens when you go to a store, a discount store, and you buy something cheap and you maybe a toy for your kid, and in 15 minutes it's broken. So cheap at times doesn't mean value. It means it's not good quality. And I'm not ready to bottom pick Nat Gas yet. Uh, I do think that once this washout completes, there'll be some pretty good buys in Nat Gas stocks. Maybe you want to think about royalties. some of the royalty stocks. Well, here's a daily on it. Anyone that buys it here and has a bottom knows more than me. So I'm going to see what happens. Maybe we try these highs, maybe $3, but there's no reason for me to be long this when I have a chart that looks like this on the daily starting to come out of here. So I used to try to be a hero, and I've discovered after getting knocked down to the mat a few times, prudence over valor. You don't have to be a hero. All right, so let's take a quick look at the S&Ps. It looks to me like it's probably just a matter of time here. Look at this 4 hour. Here we are on the 4 hour S&P, still not taking out the high of the move. I've talked to a few people that I know that do cycle work, and they were talking about this time zone right here. I think it's the 7th to the 11th for being a potential turning point. This would kind of line up with what's been happening with uh, Nasdaq, which has put in one and maybe two lower highs. And I still think that there's room for Nasdaq to fall. I can't rule out new highs, but the greedometer is not bearish. Some people I know are talking about DeMark sequences cells in here. So there's still a possibility we roll over. Actually, it's things like Apple looking pretty negative, Tesla both ways, Tesla looking negative. I have a new charting package up, so I don't have all the symbols in yet, but I'll take a look at, let's see what we have. Maybe I have the SMH here for, yeah, okay. So SMH is up, and we are still kind of diverging here at new highs. NVIDIA is up, so semis are still leading it. But when's the last time you saw the markets make new highs, semis make new highs, and all we could do in here is retrace 50% of this decline? I still stand by that the MAGs and NVIDIA and Broadcom are not a great sign for the market. And although people say we're rotating, they just carry too much weight of the averages for if we're going to trade. I still think we could trade down to the 153 level in NVIDIA. So, I maintain my bearish bias. So that's the way that looks. I think that's about it that I'm going to cover till I get this new chart package going. Yeah, so that'll be it for now. So keep an eye on the dollar. We certainly know where it turns good, right? We turn good over here. If we break out over here, I'll not only get out, I'll reverse. And if the shorts work and we trade down to 97.5, I'll not only cover, but I'll reverse. And if that happens, I do expect the RSI to hold above 30 if they could take it down one more time. I invite everyone to join us in our community. There's lots of people beginning to post in here, and I think that you're going to find some great ideas coming in here all the time. So Mike is going to be back real soon. He's in transit to North Carolina, but you could see my stuff in the charts and the sell signal that I put out here. And, we will just keep an eye on some of these trends because I do think inflection points are coming in risk and eventually the dollar. So there's a crude, there's a dollar. It's free. So come on in here. There are people coming in here posting their stuff, and you're going to get a lot of pretty good input and ideas and actionable and managing risk. And my comment yesterday with NVIDIA, even though it's up today with the market really exploding after the strike on Venezuela, really like a rocket ship, NVIDIA is still having a hard time getting off the launch pad. And with that being said, remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios. Big interview tomorrow. We have Dave H. Contrarian. David Hunter will be with us. Dave's been right about a lot of things, and his targets I thought were so ambitious and aggressive in precious metals, and they've all been achieved. Just a couple of things maybe missing from his scenario: a much weaker dollar and a stronger bond market, but on everything else, he's had bullseyes. So check in tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. EST. And Dave and I will be going over the charts and updating his forecasts. And it's always a great interview when I have a chance to sit down with Dave Hunter. So until then, adios. See you in the room.